Nāṉ Ār. Who am I? Paragraph 1. All living beings want or desire to be happy always, without misery. Everyone has supreme love for themselves, and the cause for this supreme love is happiness. This happiness is experienced every day in the state of deep sleep, where there is no mind. In order to gain that happiness, which is one's true nature, one should know oneself. For that, the inquiry of the form, "Who am I?" is the principal means. Paragraph 2. The gross body, which is composed of the 7 constituents, namely chyle, blood, flesh, fat, bone, marrow and semen, I am not. The 5 sense organs, namely ears, skin, eyes, tongue and nose, which apprehend their respective objects, namely sound, touch, forms, taste and odor, I am not. The 5 organs of action, namely mouth, legs, hands, anus and genitals, which respectively do the 5 actions, namely speaking, walking, grasping, excreting and procreating, I am not. The 5 vital winds, that represent the flow of subtle energy within the 5 koshas, or the layers that make up our being, I am not. Even the mind which thinks, I am not. The ignorance, which is the latent or residual impressions of objects, and in which there are no objects and no functionings, I am not. Eliminating everything mentioned above as I am not, the awareness which alone remains isolated is I. The nature of such awareness is Sat, Sit, Ananda, being, consciousness, bliss. Paragraph 3. When the mind, which is the cause of all activities and cognition, subsides or becomes still, the perception of the world will depart. Unless the falsely imagined knowledge of the serpent goes away, the true knowledge of the rope, which is the substrate, will not arise. Similarly, unless the false knowledge of the world, acquired through perception, departs, the real nature of one's self, which is the substrate, will not arise. Paragraph 4. Mind is a rare, extraordinary energy that resides in the self. Mind causes all the thoughts to rise. If all the thoughts are removed, there is no separate object called mind. So, thoughts are the real nature of the mind. There is no such separate object as world, if thoughts are excluded. There are no thoughts during deep sleep, hence there is no world. In waking and in dream, thoughts exist and hence the world exists. A spider spins the thread outside from within itself and pulls it back again into itself. Likewise, the mind creates the world from itself, and shrinks the world back into itself. When mind appears out of the self, world appears. Therefore, when the world appears, the self disappears. When the self appears and shines, world disappears. On continuous inquiry into the real nature of mind, one can see that the nature of the self is also the real nature of the mind. Mind always needs a gross or a physical entity to stand. Does not stand isolated. Mind is the one which is called as the soul and the subtle body. Paragraph 5. That which arises as I in this body is the mind. If inquired where in the body this I thought arises, it will be known that it arises from the heart. That is the birthplace of mind. Contemplation on I will also take us to that place. Of all the thoughts that arise in the mind, the thought I is the first thought. After this arises, all other thoughts arise. Only after the first person appears, the second and third persons appear. Without the first person, second and third persons cease to exist. Hey, thanks for watching the video. This video is the first of the 3 videos on Ramana Maharishi's book, Who Am I? If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel.